What is going on, fam? Hope you're all having a great day, afternoon, or evening. We are coming at you with another video today, and in this video I'm going to show you a quick build in Dungeon Defenders Awaken on the Promenade insane survival map. So this build is actually just really cheesy build. You don't need to have like really good stats, but this build can help you just kind of farm Promenade solo if that's what you want to do, or you can do this with a friend as well. So let's jump into it. So to start off, I'm just going to go through, I'm going to show you my character's stats to begin with, and we're going to start with the Apprentice. So the three characters you're going to want are going to be the Apprentice, the Monk, and the Huntress. So for the Apprentice, my stats are 460 power, 228 defense rate, 174 range, 100 fortify. For my rune power, I basically have everything in power in here. So if I take everything out, you can see for base stats, I'm just 162 power, 228 defense rate. I just have a bunch of standard legendaries on that I've collected. I have not geared any of them up or anything like that. And then I just have some random accessories on, and then I have kind of an okay rock on as well. So that's what I have in, so I put everything in power. That way I have the most power there. And again, if you have higher stats than this, you're going to do perfectly fine. Next, we're going to have the Monk. So for the Monk, stats here at 471 fortify, 127 power, 132 range, and 117 defense rate. And again, for all my points, I'm just putting them all into fortify. That way I have as much health on my strength drain auras as possible. That way they don't die off easy or die off quickly, and that way they kind of last a little bit longer. Again, for gear here, nothing is leveled up here, and I just have some random accessories that I put on. And again, I have a random pet that I have. And again, if you have a Misty Minds pet, that's better. And again, if you have higher stats in this, you're going to be doing just fine. And for the last character is going to be the Huntress. For stats here, I have 358 fortify, 150 power, 123 range, and 231 defense rate. And I actually don't even have an accessory in this slot. And then for here, I just have a bunch of accessories that I had and pets that I had in my inventory. And again, the armor is not leveled up at all. And then for my stats, I have most of it into fortify, then I have some in defense rate. That way the traps just reset a little bit quicker. And I have most of it in fortified, that way the darkness trap lasts longer. So let's get into the build. You're going to load up Promenade Insane Survival, and you're going to go through, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start off by putting a flameburst tower down on the two lanes that you don't normally get ogres. So you're just going to put a flameburst tower on the wall there, and then you're going to go to the lanes with the ogre, and you're going to put down a darkness trap, and you're going to put down a flameburst tower. Now with this strat for the first wave, you want to be careful because there could be some mobs that come through that do have that fire element immunity, so you just want to be careful and just kind of burn those ones down. That way they don't go and attack your crystal. But once that is done for the first wave, on the second wave you're going to go through, you're going to put your two darkness traps down on the two lanes that you didn't already have darkness down, and then you're going to switch to your Monk, and you're going to start the wave and just go through, and you're going to put down a strength drain aura on all four lanes. So the reason why you're putting down a strength drain aura is just in case there are those nasty kobolds that do get through and that don't die quickly, and they do smash into your towers. This way they don't do as much damage because of strength drain aura. One, strips elemental immunity, which we're already going to get from darkness trap, but two, it kind of reduces the amount of damage that they do. So this build is basically 100% towers and auras and traps. There are no blockades, sort of. So once wave 2 is done, from there you're going to collect all the mana, switch onto your Apprentice, and then from here you're just going to go through, you're going to build your flameburst, the rest of your flameburst towers on the far ogre lane, This one is the widest ogre lane, and you're going to build that entire row full of flameburst towers first, because there's going to be an ogre that spawns there. So you're going to build that entire lane first, then you're going to go to the other ogre lane, build that one next full of flameburst towers, and then again for the next couple waves you'll just build the flameburst towers on the other 2 lanes as you get the mana. Now once all the flameburst towers are built, the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go through, and what I do is I build 2 DST towers, one on the wide ogre lane, kind of on the middle floating island that's there, just facing that way for a little extra DPS on the ogres. And then I build another DST on the other ogre lane. That way again it's just a little bit extra damage on the ogres. If you need that DST, you can also just build as many flameburst towers as you want on all of the lanes. I try to have at least 4 flameburst towers on the other lanes, but you can also, you know, if you don't want the DSTs, you can also just build more flameburst towers if that's what you want to do. That is entirely up to you, so you can change this build to your liking. But I'll just build 2 DSTs on the ogre lane, and then once those DSTs are done, I'll have 2 defense units left over. And this is where I say it's kind of no blockades, because for the last 2 defense units what I do is I build 2 elemental barriers just underneath. That way I can just get rid of those last 2 defense units, and then I don't have to worry about having 2 defense units left over, and I can have all my defense units gone. And then from here, what I like to do as I'm going through, I like to level up my 2 ogre towers first, and then I'll do the other 2 lanes after I already get a set of levels on all the towers, traps, and auras on the 2 ogre lanes, and then I just kind of flip-flop back and forth. Now with this build, you kind of want to have just a little bit of fortify in your towers, because your towers at max health, as you can see in here, mine are about 9,000 health here. When I'm actually on my real apprentice builder, they have around 12,000 to 13,000. That's going to be more than enough health to kind of withstand all of this. And again, if your towers do more damage and your towers attack faster and have a better DPS, this build is going to be absolute cake for you. I do want to also add that when you do get to the later waves with this build, you are going to need to just kind of jump back and forth between the 2 ogre lanes, making sure that you're on your app builder, which you should be on the entire time, or you can be on a DPS hero if you have already good enough stats on your apprentice to be able to switch to a DPS hero. But if you don't, you want to make sure that you switch, that you are on your app builder, and that you go in between the ogre lanes and making sure that you are just buffing or boosting your towers. That way you can kind of burn down those ogres quickly with this build if you are not using DPS hero. I also sometimes will use an apprentice with just a DPS weapon. That way I can do a little bit more DPS when I am buffing those towers to get those ogres down quicker, to make it go a little bit smoother. Also, if you don't have enough defense rate to be able to defeat the kobolds quickly, you can run into some hiccups with this build as well. But again, play with it. You'll kind of figure out what works and what doesn't work for you. And again, just make sure you keep an eye on those 2 ogres. So this build that I'm doing right now, I just wanted to show you guys that I have kind of just all my heroes aren't really leveled up. They have the stats that I got from the armor, and some of you may have better stats than this, just to show you that this build can be done. So this build is actually a lot of fun. I've been doing this build for the last week actually. So I actually have a lot of fun just grinding out with this build. It's super cheesy, super fun. You do not need any blockades for the lanes. You just basically farm or just camp the mobs as they spawn, and that is basically it. So leave a comment down below. Let me know if you were able to beat with this build. If you have any questions about this build, we do also live stream every single day over on twitch.tv/am. I'll leave a link in the description below. And again, leave comments questions, concerns, I'll be more than happy to answer those for you. But that's going to be it for this video. So hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please smash that like button. Also hit that subscribe button, trigger the bell for notifications. That way we know you have other we have other videos coming out. And hopefully we see you for the next one. But if we don't, have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Like always, stay safe, stay gorgeous, and we'll see you all next time.